What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now in this Trials of Mana video, we're going to be talking about what is the best starting party for Trials of Mana. Obviously you have 6 characters to choose from, and it can be quite confusing as far as which ones you want to use. So we're going to be talking about my suggestions for the best parties, how those play out, and why they're important. So getting started, let's start with the main traditional RPG style party, right? You're going to want a tank, you're going to want a healer, and you're going to want a high DPS. Now to make this happen, what you're going to want is Duran as your tank and your high damage. You're also going to want Kevin. He's going to be your main DPS for the fight. He does a ton of damage. And then of course you're going to want Charlotte as your healer. So this is the more basic and generic RPG playing style or party that you would think of. And of course it is really balanced, so you shouldn't have any issues completing the game with this party. Another balanced party option that you can have is Duran, being that he will be the main DPS and buffs as long as you have Duran as a duelist, and then having Charlotte as the necromancer. Now she's going to be casting a lot of debuffs, but she also has the ability to heal. And then you also have Reese as a star lancer, who's going to be applying a lot of buffs to your party. So this is more of a balanced build because you're debuffing the enemy, you're buffing your party, you have a main tank with high stamina, and then of course you have Charlotte who can heal on the side. So again, this is going to be another balanced party. All right, let's talk about a very good boss focused party. Right, you're going to get to those bosses, they're going to be a little bit more difficult, so you want to make sure that you have the right party. So what you're going to want to have is Hawkeye as Nightblade, Kevin as Fatal Fist, and then Reese as a Star Lancer. So Hawkeye is going to be the debuff person with Nightblade. He's going to be silencing enemies and doing AoE attacks on large groups. Next you're going to have Reese. Now Reese is going to be able to grant very useful buffs to increase your party attack. And then of course you have Kevin with Fatal Damage. Kevin is going to be the main damage dealer and will serve for the most point to be effective against every single boss because he's dealing such high damage. So let's talk about a very good boss group focused on magic. What you're going to have is Charlotte as a necromancer, Kevin as Fatal Fist, and then Duran as Idle Fray. So with Duran, what you're going to have is elemental DPS and buff, which is going to do some pretty serious damage and allow you to sustain that damage at all times throughout the fight. Next for Charlotte, she's going to be necromancer, so of course she's going to be casting debuffs. And then you have Kevin with Fatal Fist. Now because Duran will be the secondary DPS and buff Kevin's elemental DPS with her abilities. So because you have Kevin with Fatal Fist in the party as well, and then Duran as Idle Fray, Duran is going to be able to apply some buffs or some elemental buffs to Kevin's DPS, which of course is going to increase that damage substantially throughout the fight. Okay, and then of course late game parties that you want to put together, because maybe you want to switch out some character. A really good late game balance one is going to be having Hawkeye as Vigilante. He's going to be serving mainly as DPS and debuffs. Then you're going to have Duran with Berserk, which is going to be focusing on DPS and buffs as well. And then you're going to have Reese with Meteorite, again focusing on DPS and buffs. So this party overall focuses mainly around high damage, and then of course you have your buffs and your debuffs with Hawkeye's Vigilante. So each character is going to have a solid amount of damage that you're going to be able to do. And then of course with Duran and his Berserker, he's going to be able to output the most amount of damage. Okay, so of all the options that I gave you guys, if you had to ask me for my personal opinion, as far as the best party combination goes overall for the game, and something that you're not going to have any issues with and just everything is covered, it's going to be having the balanced late game build. So of course this is going to require that you have some subclasses unlocked and equipped, but it's going to be Duran with Berserker, Hawkeye with Vigilante, and Reese with Meteorite. So the reason being is that Duran is going to do very high damage, right? And then with the Idle Fray elemental saver buffs, it's going to allow you to exploit a lot of enemy weaknesses. So Hawkeye with Vigilante, the main purpose of this is that you're going to be able to do very good AoE on a lot of targets at once. So of course this serves a very important purpose whenever you're fighting enemies. And then lastly, of course, you have Reese with Meteorite. So we need to make sure that we have some type of character buffs in our party. So the Star Lancer buff from Reese allows you to boost the party's overall speed, power, defense, and magic. So the fact that you have very high damage, you have AoE attacks going on, and then you also have a buff for speed, power, defense, and magic just makes this a fantastic combination for a party, and overall kind of my personal favorite. So with that being said, let me know what your guys' favorite combination is, or at least hopefully this video helped you guys determine which characters you want in your main party. Now with that being said, of course, if you like the video, hit that like button. Let's go for at least 10 likes on the video. And of course, if you're new to the channel or just haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more daily videos. And then of course, we will be putting out more videos for Trials of Mana. Now, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, stay safe, and have a great day.